their first ever NBA championship. Here's Jordan for three. Yes! The Chicago Bulls have won the NBA championship for the second straight season.
Pippen breaks inside.
Pippen got the snap.
They go to Grant. The Paxson.
Paxson going for the win.
Here's Paxson for three.
Paxson.
The Chicago Bulls have won three straight NBA championships.
When I lose the sense of motivation and the sense of to prove something as a basketball player, it's time for me to move away from the game of basketball.
We're seeing the end of a terrific era here in the NBA.
Lennox finally defeat the Chicago Bulls in a playoff series.
Today, Michael Jordan at age 32 tries to accomplish what no one else truly has in team sports history.
Number 45 is back. He's in the building, ready to go.
And the season is over, my friend. The Magic win it.
Michael Jordan returned. Most people thought that the Chicago Bulls were going to go ahead and get into at least the finals in the Eastern Conference.
Tonight, the Chicago Bulls uncover their new look for the 1995-96 season.
How tough is that climb back to title number 4 going to be? And now, your Chicago Bulls!
The Chicago Bulls entered the 1995-96 season a far different team from the one that exited the playoffs the year before. With Michael Jordan back for a full season, the Bulls' nucleus was restored.
Michael and Scotty have been leaders with this team over the 90s. But Michael early in the season said, this is still Scotty's team. I'm still figuring my way onto it.
Hey, Scotty!
I felt like the last couple seasons that, we were still a team that were looked at as one of the better teams in the league, but not of a championship caliber team.
From North Carolina, at guard.
Having Michael back, we felt like that, this was going to be our opportunity to go for it again.
Here's the tap right there. Run your fifth side. Here's the pass.
With Jordan and Pippen forming an incomparable core, the Bulls jumped out to their best start in history. Dennis Rodman brought a critical piece to the puzzle as the Bulls now boasted the game's most formidable trio. Carving out a vital presence, Rodman epitomized the meaning of team player.
We had a good situation for Dennis to come into. Michael and Scotty were here. He respected those players a tremendous amount. Both of them said, hey, if you and Phil think it's the right thing to do.
You got it, Dennis. You got it. That's enough, man. That's enough.
But what's unique about this team is that in years past, teams generally have had to take some time to gel as a group. And this year you've added Michael back to the mix, Dennis Rodman as a starter, and they came together so quickly.
But even with their star-studded nucleus, the Bulls would demonstrate all season long that winning was a total team effort.
What drove us this year was a lot of the players on our team never experienced this type of winning, and not as rapidly as we did. From Randy Brown to Steve Kerr to Judd Boucher. A lot of these guys have been on other teams that have never won.
And the bench delivers again.
So the motivation was even greater, not just from your starting five, not just from Scottie Pippen, myself, Dennis Rodman, the guys who have experienced it before, but from the guys who were on the bench supporting and coming in and relieving us of minutes. They wanted it more than we did because they've never experienced anything like this in their lives.
Some had never experienced the full measure of Michael Jordan, but by the end of November, that too would change.
I remember back at the game in it was Vancouver. We should have lost the game. We were down 12 points with 6 minutes to go. Michael just said, well, that's enough. I can't let this happen. And
All alone, thinking about the shot, thinking about driving. Now drives down to the right side, goes up to the left hand. It's good. Oh,
you know, it seems like whenever we're in a tight spot, Michael just turns up the jets a little bit.
12 straight by Jordan. 12 straight.
And everybody realized that this guy was back in his full force as, you know, the most dominant player in the game.
In early December, the Bulls came home from a long but successful road trip. They continued to run on all cylinders and march through the month.
They're styling right now. And they're just... The question is now, who can beat the Chicago Bulls team?
It's not individual. It's a team situation.
And no one demonstrated that better than Jordan and Pippen. As they provided the team's anchor, they gave the rest of the league a lesson in winning.
Bulls are toying.
I gotta give the ball.
Spencer and Jordan picked it off. Behind the back. Oh, yes, sir. Wow.
Well, we had a ball club that could hurt you in a lot of different areas, whether it was beating you on the boards, beating you defensively, or, you know, beating you in our transition game.
For all of Chicago's heroics, winning came down to the basics.
It's pretty to have a shot or a dunk or, you know, a steal and a run-up, but really the things that provide you those things are the nuts and bolts of basketball, and that's hard teamwork.
Now listen, if I call a 10 defense, match up and play 10 full-court defense.
You're only as good as your weakest link.
10 given points with 8 minutes gone the first quarter.
As the Bulls continued to pile up the victories, their success seemed to come at will.
You know, we're just breezing along. But you always, in the back of your mind, you realize you get off to a good start. And we kept going. And the next thing you know, it's All-Star break, and, we're just sitting out there by ourselves.
The Bulls put the first half of the season to